What's going on, mother truckers? So today we're going to talk about getting home more. Because the truth about it is, most truck drivers quit their first year because they're not getting enough home time. So I don't want this to happen to you. But if you want to be home every day and be over the road, it's just not going to happen. You're going to have to find a local job, which means you're probably going to have to load and unload these trailers. And so if that's something that you want to do, then that's another video. But for the ones that want to get over the road but want to be home more, this video is for you. So today, we're going to talk about home time and give you 3 tips on how to get home more. Because let's be honest, these trucking recruiters, they're going to do everything in their power to make it sound nice and sweet so that you jump in that truck. And when you find out that you're not getting home for weeks, for months at a time, you're going to quit. So let's get into this video. Tip number 1. The first thing I want you to do is find all the trucking companies that are next to you. The easiest way to do that? Go on your Google Maps and type in truck terminal near me, and it'll pop up a list of all the trucking companies in your surroundings. The biggest thing is find out who does business in your area. If you want to be home more and there's a trucking company that does business or has their headquarters or has a hub, which is basically where they transfer trailers and swap them out, right? Then there's a good chance that you could be home more because they do business in your local hometown. So if you want to work for a certain company, but they don't have any hubs or any terminals nearby, then there's a great chance that you're not going to be home at all. Let me give you a quick example. My company that I work with is in Cranston, Rhode Island. All right, but I live in Florida. They have jobs all the time in Cranston, Rhode Island and in the East Coast. But they don't have any pool out here in Florida. Why? Because they don't have a business out here in Florida. It's that simple. So if you find all the companies and a list of the companies that are in your local area, there's a great chance you might get home more. Tip number 2. Go to the local truck stops near your house and basically look around. All right. In Florida, I see a whole bunch of UPS, a whole bunch of XPO. So you know what? There's a great chance that they might have a hub nearby or they might have a terminal nearby, or at least they do business in this area. So go to your local truck stop, look around your surroundings, see what kind of trucks seem to always be there. Here's a power tip. Go on a Sunday, because most people that are parked at a truck stop on a Sunday are waiting to deliver on Monday morning. Warehouses are not open on Sunday. So there's a good chance that that company might be waiting so that they could deliver the next day nearby. So go on a Sunday, look around. If you see a whole bunch of the same kind of trucks with the same names on them, go up, ask the truck driver, hey, I'm thinking about getting to trucking. I'm in truck school and I'm thinking about working for a company, but I want to be home more. Do you do local deliveries in this area? They might tell you, hey, I don't live in this area, but I'm always here because I do drop-offs at a warehouse that's 2 miles from here. Gain the information you need, and maybe you could work for that company and throw in there, hey, I'll work for your company if I could get this certain route, if I could get this certain dedicated route. And so guess what? You could be home more, because if every week they're making deliveries to that town, which is the town you live in, now you're home while you're working. Instead of sitting at the truck stop waiting, you can have your wife or girlfriend or husband pick you up. That simple. Tip number 3 is just like tip number 2. But some people don't have truck stops near their house. So where do you find truck drivers making these deliveries near your hometown? So if you're not a truck driver, you might not know that. Good thing I am. So every time I have to make a delivery, but there's no truck stop or a rest area to stay at, where I go is Walmart's, Home Depot's, Lowe's, basically anywhere where there's a lot of parking. I'm sure, even though there's not a truck stop near your house, you've seen truck drivers park at night somewhere, right? A movie theater, a mall, a Home Depot, just any mega big box store, and I'm sure there's truckers parked there. Pay attention. Look at what companies are parked at the Walmart at night. Don't go up to these truck drivers at night. All right, that might freak us out. But during the day, if you see a lot of those trucks, go up and just ask a question. You know what I mean? Do the research. There is no excuse to not finding something that works for you. Overall, mother truckers, I don't want you to be like every other person getting into trucking, where they go to a random truck school, and then after they graduate, there are recruiters that go to the truck school and try to get them to work for them, and then these recruiters promise them home time, good money, and all this great stuff, and then you find out you're never home. There's no terminals near the house, right? There's no dedicated routes, or there's no business that company's doing in your local town. The only person that probably lives local is that recruiter. And then you find yourself unhappy because you're never home. You felt like they lied to you. And you're miserable because you're not getting what you expected. And a lot of people making the transition from a normal job to truck driving, they're used to being home every day. So even if they're gone 1 or 2 days, that's a lot. But if you want to get into trucking, get ready, people. Because there's a good chance, especially if you're doing OTR, you're not going to get home for a couple weeks at a time. So just let that settle in your head. Before you really think about this as a lifestyle or as a career, just know that, hey, there's a good chance you're going to be gone a couple weeks at a time. You know what I mean? And if you're not okay with that as it is, this is definitely not the job for you. But if you want to get home more often, you got to do the research. Find out what trucking companies are doing business in your hometown. That way, when people are doing their reset, 34-hour reset, away from their home, you could do your 34-hour reset at home. And then you get time off later on. So you're going to feel like you're home more. But you have to make it work for you, and you have to do the research. So hopefully these tips help, because I want to give you practical tips that are going to help you. And I don't want you to be that person that's just so miserable because you put all your eggs in with a recruiter where their job is to get you to sign the dotted line. They don't care about you. So thank you so much for your time. I hope this helps. I'm just here for you guys. Appreciate you, mother truckers. Peace out. See you on Wednesday.